Welcome to Elite Force Staffing's podcast, where we talk shop about the skilled trades, world of construction staffing, and sometimes absolutely nothing of importance. Today's episode, we're continuing our industry deep dive with President, CEO of Elite Force Staffing, Steve Worrell. Here he explains the importance of the dual desk approach to staffing and why Elite Force Staffing excels where others do not. Enjoy.
So, Steve, one of the more interesting things about this business, having come from, other skilled trades companies and sort of the fundamental setup for skilled trades staffing companies is, most companies operate with, you've got however many account reps that work specific territories, and you've got, a recruiter, or maybe you've got a recruiter and some junior recruiters or whatever. So essentially, the account reps bring the rec to the recruiter locates the people, either sets them up to go out to the project or just basically does a handshake with the account rep, and the account rep takes it from there. You guys operate on what you refer to here as sort of a dual desk concept. And first and foremost, the fact that we didn't operate that way in my previous 18 years, looking at the way we do things here, I don't know why we didn't. But give me a little bit of color on the concept and why you wanted to structure the business that way.
I think it makes most sense for not only our success, but for our client success. So by being dual desk, you're not only going out and getting your own jobs to fill, you're filling those jobs as well, right? So you truly understand what the client needs, and then you truly understand, what type of candidates you have when during your qualifying process. So that way, I just feel like that allows you to make sure you're putting the best candidate possible for the project, right? And then further than that, let's say you put 10 electricians out. Client calls 2 days later. Hey, Johnny Smith, I don't think he's a good terminator. And being that you recruited that guy and you understand that guy, you can say, well, actually, I know that he's got 10 years of termination experience for XYZ company, or, he's a carded electrician. Because sometimes, you might have an electrician, for example, a commercial electrician on an industrial job. Mm-hmm. Those are different animals.
Without any doubt.
You know what I mean? So yeah. A lot of companies make that mistake too, going back to what our competitors do. So by being dual desk, you can make sure, once again, that it's not just an electrician. He's not just carded, but he's actually an industrial electrician, and we're putting him on an industrial job. So it helps minimize, some of these issues, that we've learned along the way.
Well, and to take it a step further, one of the things that interests me, and all of our guys have said this to me at one time or another, that they love the fact that they are 100% in control and really 100% to blame if it goes bad, which to me is amazing.
Amazing.
It's that I'm not going to tell my customer that it's someone else made a mistake. It's all on me.
Mm-hmm. Full accountability. Yeah, and that's an internal issue for some of these staffing companies, because then, who do you think they're going to point the finger at, right?
Yeah.
Now with this type of model, you're pointing the finger at yourself.
Well, and this is the sort of dichotomy. I mean, one of the sort of the longest standing staffing cliches, and it's these things that over the years I've really just tried to crush in every office I've worked in, is it's always either, it's the sales reps complaining to the recruiter that they're not getting their orders filled. Mm-hmm. Or it's the recruiter complaining to the sales reps that, hey, I'm bringing people in, I'm bringing quality people in, I'm interviewing them, and you're not putting them to work, and they're finding other jobs.
Right.
And, you're going to find that in, 7 out of 10 staffing companies you walk into, you're going to find that because it's old and it's kind of, frankly, it's played out. And, my thing was, let's put that away and let's give everybody the opportunity to buy in and to be a part of this thing. We don't have to have these rigid structures that say that, you know, oh, hey, do me a favor. Can you call these 20 people that respond to my, oh no, I'm an account rep. I don't do that.
Right.
That's your job.
That's beneath me. Yeah.
And my response to that is, okay, well, do you want to get your jobs filled and make money, or do you not? And really, we evolved over that way, not completely to the level where Elite Force operates. And actually, an additional thing that I want to discuss is the fact that not only are the guys dual desk, but you know, everybody can work on everybody else's stuff if necessary.
And they actually team up, right?
And I love to tell the clients that. I love to explain to them the approach because, you know, somebody gets off the phone, they go up to the board, and everybody starts chatting. Hey, what do you got? Where is it? What are your ideas? Okay, I'm already thinking about these few. Okay, well, I've got a couple ideas there. And I really and truly believe, without any question, that it's like a machine, and there's no other approach that's going to get orders filled, number one, and filled with the best candidates. Because the great thing about it is, and we've said this before to a lot of companies when it comes to travelers, is, you know, if you have a specific niche, you know, you do substations, you know, you do cell work, you do renewable energy, whatever it is. If you come to a market, like, okay, say you do solar, you're basically gonna have whatever electricians are available in that town, whether they have solar experience or not. You know, if you can pay per diem, you can get guys that can come in and gals that can come in that hit the ground running. The great thing about the team approach for me is that not only does it get the jobs filled, but it's like, well, you know, I've got 4, but this one's not really all that strong. Well, I've got so-and-so, and you know, this dude's a stud, right? Well, you know what? I want to show for my customer, so I'm going to take that guy, right? And once again, I think this is the same thing we talked about earlier. It's short view versus long view. It's the idea of, well, you know, I really want to fill the order with my guys, right? Because I want to get paid, versus, you know what? I think if we do the right thing here and take really good care of our customer, and we've seen this time and time again, that 5-man order blooms into 50.
Yeah, for years.
Or it turns into, you know, we're working with you in the Mid-Atlantic, and now we want you guys to jump in on the West Coast, right?
Right.
So, you know, once again, bravo. It's a great approach.
It's something I've never seen before. And, you know, the synergy that we have here, once again, I have never seen that.
No.
Yeah, because it's normally so cutthroat. Everybody's worried about their own wallet. And here, everybody's worried about the client. They're putting that client first. And it's truly a special thing to see that. And, you know, I love to see it every day when I come in this office.
Well, and I think it is, you know, I think it's synonymous with staffing and probably a lot of other industries, the kind of cutthroat sort of, you know, I hate to say backstabbing, but like, you should never be worried about someone in your own office, you know, poaching a prospective client or poaching some of your folks that work for you. The fact that's been completely eliminated here, it just makes it, you know, it's created an environment for growth and, you know, for really a good solid work week. So once again, great work there. So we've kind of hit on some of this, but just a couple, like, you know, what are some important lessons you've learned, you know, from having Elite Force staff and from starting your own company? I mean, you started this thing up in 2012. You know, we've grown continuously, and it's been really good, well-rounded growth. Yeah. Got a great environment. You know, what a couple things maybe along the way that you've learned?
I think one of the biggest ones is, you know, you must be a great decision maker. The quality of your decision making will determine the quality of not only your life, but the quality of your business. You know, on a daily basis, you and I both, you know, there's probably at least 50 decisions that have to be made. And, you know, how you make or how you determine those decisions I mean, basically, good decisions will reward you with good outcomes, right? So I think that's probably one of the more important ones that I've learned along the way. And another one that I think comes to mind is embracing reality. We have to decide for ourselves what success is. Each one of us have our own level of or our own determination of what that may be. For me, it wasn't all about hitting, certain revenue or anything like that. It was really just, having a good group of people that's like family and just coming here every day and once again, coming and putting our clients first, delivering on our promises. It all sounds so simple, but yet nobody else is really doing it.
I couldn't agree more. I think those non-KPI related sort of soft goals, if you will. I used to say one of my two biggest goals every year going into a new year was one. I'd like to not have to work with companies that don't view us as a partner, companies that view us adversarially, companies that don't appreciate what we do or don't really understand the value in what we do.
Right.
And then, to move that a step forward, from a success standpoint, my goal was always, hey, I want to be in a position to where we can walk away from some unfavorable business if we don't want to be a part of it. That being said, we have to have something else.
Right.
So it's, and I think you're right. It's sort of the smart money. Everybody, and I asked you that question earlier about sort of the IT staffing approach and sort of the commercial staffing approach that is heavily sales minded. Not so much. I mean, it seems to me like you're emphasizing sales so much versus recruiting. 5 or 6 years ago, I started to look at this whole thing and say, hey, let's start to kind of put our money more into recruiting. And even today, I mean, with COVID, the business is there. It's not
absolutely.
It's all around you. Is it favorable business? Is it business is it a sandbox that we want to play in? So to me, I just feel like that's another huge mistake people make is focusing so much on sales versus recruiting. I mean, you gotta, what's the point in going out and getting orders that you can't fill?
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely spend a lot more time on the recruiting than we do the sales. We've, as you mentioned, that we have the luxury of picking and choosing who we want to work with. We've kind of created our niche now where, we're more of a high volume staffing company now. We have crews all over the country that we can mobilize depending on the scope of work. And, and our clients know this, right? So, they go and do a specific project and they know that they can call us and we'll have 40, 50, 60 guys there at a moment's notice that's going to be able to hit the ground running. Just give them the prints and they got it. But it's taken many years to be able to get to this point. And we've been truly blessed for sure, but I think it's all by design.
Yeah. All right, Steve. So good stuff today. Hit some good topics. Talked a lot of good things today. Just in closing, you're a steady guy, man. You're here every day, ready to rock and roll. So you had a great company here. When you get up in the morning, what gets you fired up when you're brushing your teeth and getting your coffee? What gets you fired up about coming over here to work, man, at Elite Force?
I think honestly, just the ability to or the chance to add value to our clients every day. In a tangible way. I just think that's really cool. We work with some massive companies, that are counting on us to deliver. There's some type of satisfaction with that level of trust that's just really cool. Secondly, outside of that, ever since, I've had my kids, so I have a 4-year-old and then I have identical twin boys that just turned 1 not too long ago. For those parents out there, I think they can relate that, a lot of what we do is for them. So that's huge motivation for me. But yeah, it's just that daily challenge, coming in every day, knowing what we've got to accomplish, and then, knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that the people that love this business, there's something about their personality that I think it's the way we look at the challenges, because, it's a company calls and says, hey, I need 2 carpenters in Las Vegas for, 2 months that are really good with this type of trim system or whatever. And, it's looking at that and going, okay, what's our approach going to be, and how are we going to do this? And then it's the amazing satisfaction of that client calling you a week later saying, oh my gosh, these guys, or this guy and this girl are fantastic.
Where'd you find these people?
They're fantastic. They're exactly what we wanted. And I just, like I said, I mean, you're impacting the clients, and we're impacting all these hundreds of people that are depending on us for a paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, we're essentially helping them put food on the tables for their families, right?
Yeah.
It's a good feeling, for sure.
It's hard. It's all, to me, it's all in how you look at it. This business is not for the meek. You got to be thick-skinned. We joke, you can't just be some geek off the street. You got to be handy with the steel.
Yeah.
But it's all in how you look at it, man. And I think that the way that we approach the group that we've got, it gets me excited every day as well. Meeting the challenges, making the decisions, feeling good about them, and moving on, man. Mm-hmm. So awesome. Well, I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks, everybody.
It was a long commute to walk down the hallway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Back to work we go.